I'm doing If Not For You from George Harrison's amazing All Things Must Pass album. This was co-written with Bob Dylan, of course, and I'm just going to take you through the tune, show you the chords and how to play it. It's a great beginner song and maybe even intermediate, depending on where you're at and you're playing exactly. But I'll talk about a couple of other things that you can do, little other parts that pop up in the mix that you can add to it if you'd like to. And so here we go. This is how you play the opening and the verses. So as you can see, we've got some pretty basic chords here, a G, a D, and a C. And I'm playing that George Harrison style with the G note in the bass. You can catch him playing this song live. I know there's at least one video out there, and we'll talk about that, in fact, how he plays a few of these chords. And the strumming pattern on this is down, down, up, down, down. So for the G chord, we've got down, down, up, down, one strike on the D chord, and then to the C chord. And on that one, we've got down, down, up, up, down. But of course, just keep your hand swinging the whole time so you get a few ghost notes in there, stuff like that. And then we land an A minor chord, and we'll talk about this chord in particular at first. But the strumming pattern on the A minor that I did is once again really capturing the vibe of the recording. So what I did first was down, down, up, up, down. And then just down, up, down, up, down, up, down, up. And there you have it. So those are the basic chords for the verse, right? But in the recording, you'll hear this B note that pops into the mix. The first time it's definitely on guitar, and then I think later on you can hear it being played on the piano as well. It almost sounds like a drop-in, you know, like it was just added. But if you want to capture that, I think that's a pretty cool sound. You can do it like this. So what I did is I played an A minor bar chord instead of the open position one. And I used the same strumming pattern, down, down, up, down, but with that first upstroke, bring your pinky down to the 7th fret on the first string and catch it. So it's down, down, up, down, and then bring your pinky back to where it was and do the alternate strokes. So that whole thing together real slow is... and you're back to the G, C, D part, okay? Now another cool thing to add, especially if you're playing with another guitarist, or maybe you just want to toss it in yourself, is over that intro, the G, the D, and the C, that whole bit, is to add this in there. kind of a cool little part and sounds great over those chords. So I've got that all tabbed out for you. You don't necessarily have to slide into the first chord, but if you can get that going on, it sounds pretty good, okay? So let's get into the next part, the B section of the song. And it starts on that C chord, the same shape with the G and the bass, but it comes out of the verse, so you're already sitting on the C chord. Talk about those chords a little bit too, because you'll see guys playing that descending part, the D to the C to the B minor, a little bit differently, and I think that's totally fine. But after watching George play it live in a particular video, that's how he played it. He played a D, a C with the G and the bass, and a B minor chord. But we'll talk about that, okay? So anyway, this part starts off on the C chord with that same strumming, down, down, up, up, down. G, D7, back to G. C again, G, A7, and then we start the descending part, as I called it. Now, you'll see it played like this quite a lot. D, and then maybe a C add 9. Or sometimes guys will go like that. And then this shape, and maybe with this finger in as well. To me, that takes it a little bit out of the harmony, and I'll talk about that in combination with the other guitar part that's going along with it. Now, the way George plays it makes sense to me because of what the other guitar is doing. And I'll talk about that in just 1 second. But for now, I think I'm going to go with the way George plays it. I think it sounds fine, and it certainly fits the harmony of the song very well. So again, let me go through that whole second part. Back to the verse. So those are all the parts of the song. It's a pretty simple song, pretty simple arrangement. But what I was going to mention is on those descending chords, and again, it's all down, down, up, down through that whole bit. You'll hear this great little guitar part played right over the top of that. That's a really cool little part right there, and all of those notes, D, C, and B minor, that's actually what those chords are, of course, D, C, and B minor. And as I was saying, watching George play this live, those are the chords he uses, D, C, and B minor, and it makes sense. It works really well with that part, and they're just on top of each other. So let me play that for you nice and slow with the tab up on the screen, in case you're jamming with another guitar player or you just want to play this part. And the picking on that is up, up, down, and then swing back to up again. And then I think down, up, and then down for the last stroke. So I'm going up, down, up, down, up, down. Up, down, up, down, up, down. And you end on that double stop. So there you go. If Not For You from George Harrison's All Things Must Pass album. I hope you enjoyed the lesson as always, and all the best to everyone. Thanks for checking out the channel.